The topic of today's discussion is how do we interface servo motor with Arduino. You would have seen how do we interface DC motors with Arduino. What we are going to see is a servo motor. A servo motor is a special purpose motor. So what is the use of this special function motor? This motor can be used to rotate the shaft of the motor to a very precise angle. Okay, so if you are interested that you want the shaft to rotate precisely for 30 degrees for 45 degree, and if you want to go back to the same location for minus 45 degrees. So if you want the shaft of the motor to rotate for a very specific angle very precisely, then we use servo motor. Okay, so that is the topic of today's discussion. So let us start our discussion with understanding what is a servo motor is. A servo motor is essentially a normal motor, normal DC motor added with feedback. So what do you mean by feedback? A normal DC motor is an open loop motor, whereas a servo motor is a motor with feedback. Now you understand what is the difference between what is an open loop and what is the feedback system is. Right. Today I am taking class for you. Okay, so this is a simple example that I am going to give you for your understanding. So here is the teacher. He is broadcasting his class to a lot of students using online mode or in regular class. So when the teacher starts the class from time t is equal to 0 and he ends the class at time t is equal to 50 minutes continuously for this entire duration in a one directional mode, then it is open loop. Open loop means this teacher keep on talks for the entire 50 minutes and he never gets any feedback from the students pertaining to whether they have understood the concepts, whether they have any doubt, or whether they whether their concepts are clearly received by them, so on and so forth. So this is an open loop system. Okay, so what is a feedback system or feedback? The other way of feedback system is also known as closed loop. So what is closed loop system? In closed loop system, the teacher actually gives the input first, then he asks for the feedback from the students, like whether you are able to understand what I am teaching in the class, whether the screen is visible to you, whether the language that I speak is understandable for you, so on and so forth. So the students give feedback to the teacher. So based on the feedback that is given by the students, the teacher in turn correct himself and then he adjusts the delivery of contents to the students, and this is the corrected output. Okay, so depending upon the feedback signal given by the students, the teacher corrects whatever he is doing, and then the corrected output is then delivered again to the students. And feedback is always a continuous mechanism. Again, the system receives the feedback from the student, and then this is a continuous process till the desired goal is achieved. Okay, so that is the difference between a conventional DC motor and a servo motor. A conventional motor is one where it has two terminals, negative terminal and a positive terminal. So if you take a battery and if you supply some voltage to this, the motor makes a rotation. So that is an open loop system. So you apply some voltage to it and turn the switch on, the motor rotates. That's a conventional open loop system. So there's something similar to the teacher simply starts the class and completes the class without collecting any feedback from the student. So what is a closed loop system on the other side? There is a sensor. This sensor essentially detects what is the position of the shaft. So this is a positional sensor and gives a control signal to a control circuit. This control circuit in turn controls this motor for a desired shaft rotation. So this is a complete closed loop system. Closed loop system means what? The motor gives an output which is rotating the shaft, which is sensed by a sensor. The sensed output is given to a control circuit. The control circuit corrects the motor for a desired output. So this is called a closed loop system. The system is closed. Just like a teacher and a student, the teacher first gives the input to the student. The student gives the feedback to the teacher. The teacher has the control circuit and then he adjusts the output that is going to the student again. Just like this is a motor. Okay, so it is sensed by a sensor. The sensor output is given to a control circuit. The control circuit in turn controls the motor so that the desired output is achieved. What is the desired output here? I want the shaft to rotate at a specific angle typically at 0 to 180 degrees. So the servo motor typically rotates from 0 to 180 degrees typically. Okay, so that is the concept behind a servo motor. So a servo motor is essentially a special purpose motor with closed loop mechanism. Closed loop mechanism means the motor has the ability to sense what is the position of the shaft by a positional sensor and a control circuitry to control the motor in turn for the correct position of the sensor. That's what it is. Now let us see how are we going to interface the servo motor with Arduino. So if you take a servo motor typically has three inputs or three connections. The first one is of course the signal. So you can connect this to any pin of your Arduino. So I just connect to 11th pin. The signal is a output of Arduino going as an input to this servo motor. This is my servo motor. So this servo motor internally has sensor plus control circuit that is housed inside the motor itself. What you are seeing is the shaft of the motor. The second one is of course the power supply line. So you can just take your plus 5 volt and connect it there. So this is my power line. Okay, that is my power line. Third one is of course the ground line. So this you can take from any ground. My ground. So it is a pretty straightforward and simple connection which has only 3 terminals. First one is the signal line. Second one is the power line, and third line is the ground line. The signal line is one which expects the input for rotating this shaft at a specific angle. As usual, for controlling servo motor, we take the help of the header function available. In this case, it is servo.h. Okay, so you can define an object of type servo. This is the data type. You can define a variable called my motor. Okay, so what are the two important functions of this servo object? First one is attach function. This attach expects the pin number where you have connected the signal of the you have 3 terminals here. The first one is the signal, the second one is the power supply line, the third one is the ground line, isn't it? So this signal line, which pin of Arduino is connected to this signal line? So our example, we have connected this to 11th pin. So this pin number we pass it on here. So my motor.attach means I am connecting the 11th pin of my Arduino to the signal input of my motor. So attach means we are attaching the pin of Arduino. Then the most important function is the right function. This right function is used for rotating the shaft of the motor to a specific angle. This is the degree. This degree can range from 0 to 180 degrees. Okay. So these are the two simple functions that we would be using for controlling servo motors. Let us take a simple example. This is my Arduino. Take a servo motor. Rotate this servo motor. If you want to connect it in our conventional way, maybe you can rotate this as well. First one is the signal line. So I take my signal input. 11th pin is what I use for signal. So I use pink wire. Second one is power and the third one is ground. So ground wire you can always take from here and connect it. We change this one to black, and power I can take from the left hand side. So that completes me. Maybe I can just drag this a little bit. So signal, power and ground. That completes my circuit. Let's go to the coding part. So I don't want this in the first thing that we do is what? We include the servo library file. So where do we get it? So we go to the libraries. So we go to the servo. Servo is here. We just press include. It automatically includes your servo.h. Now you define an object of type servo. Servo my servo. Okay. So my servo is the variable name of type servo. So in the setup part, we have to give connections to the servo motor. So in the setup part, my servo dot touch, which pin is connected to servo motor? We have connected 11th pin. So once that is done, you can complete the connection. So in the loop part, let us first rotate this fellow clockwise and anti-clockwise every some delay. So my servo dot right function. So I want to go to 180 degrees. So I want to wait for some period. So delay 3 seconds, and then my servo dot right. I go to 0 degree again. So 0. So I go to 180 degrees for 3 seconds. After 3 second delay, I come back to 0 degree. So it will rotate between 0 to 180 degrees. That's what it is. So let us start the simulation. So this is 180 degrees and 0 degrees. Right. So this is not giving you a better understanding. So what I do here, I change this to 45 degrees, and then this one to 90 degrees. Then so this is 135. This is 180. After reaching this, let it come back again from 180 to 135, from 135 to 90, from 90 to 45, from 45 to 0. So let it complete. So let us put this full at 0 in the startup. The motor goes to 0 in the startup. So 45, 90, 135, 180, and then it is coming back from 180, 135, 90, 45, and 0. So let us see how this fellow works. 45, 90, 135, 180, again 135, 90, 45, and 0. Okay, so that continuously completes. Problem 1, interface servo motor with Arduino and write a firmware to rotate the servo from 0 degrees to 180 degrees in steps of 1 degree with a delay of 15 milliseconds. So that's what we did just now. Comment this entire block. I'm not going to use it. In the second case, what I do, I put a for loop for I equal to 0, I less than 180, I plus plus. So my servo dot right, I pass I. So I ranges from 0 to 180 degrees. So in between each write, I give some 20 millisecond delay. Okay, so let us see how it goes. So it is not declared here. Let me declare what is I, and see that it is making a very smooth rotation. Maybe after completing this, you can go to my servo dot right 0 degrees, and then give some a large delay, say 5 second or 3 seconds delay, and this also you can increase the delay to 50 milliseconds. So if you see, I have given a delay period of 50 milliseconds for each degree centigrade. See, that gives you a very smooth rotation. So it will wait for 3 seconds and then it starts. So by increasing and decreasing this delay period, you can actually control the speedness of that. So you can, if I increase that to 100, you can see that it is going still slow. So if you want an extremely slow rotation, maybe this would help. I'm making a degree every 1 second, something similar to your clock of your wall clock. I'm making a rotation every 1 degree centigrade, but the thing is it will rotate for 180 degrees. Is it clear? So this is an open loop. Simply the motor is rotating. Now I want to give you some level of control. Problem 2. Interface a servo motor with Arduino along with the potentiometer. Rotate the servo from 0 to 180 degrees based on the potentiometer. So I am having a potentiometer. So I adjust the potentiometer and control how exactly this this servo has to rotate. So I just take a copy of this and put it here. Let us go to problem 2. In problem 2, what am I doing here? I'm just taking a potentiometer. So this is my terminal 1, which I take and connect to ground. So this is my second terminal, which I connect to power. So I just connected these two. The signal I connected to analog 0. So maybe it is better that we connect this fellow here so that it is confined to the left hand side part. So terminal 1 I connect it to plus 5 volt. There is no difference in fact if you connect there or here, but for simplicity I put it here. This is my ground terminal which I can connect it here. The signal I connected to analog 0. So what I want is depending upon the potentiometer input, this fellow has to control the shaft. If you see the potentiometer here, okay, so the potentiometer, you know how it works, right? So if you have a variable resistor, one end is connected to plus 5 volt, the other end is connected to ground, the variable is connected to analog 0 of Arduino. That is how this is connected. Now if you read this fellow by using which function should we use for reading the sensor value of this potentiometer? Analog read. So for example, potentiometer is equal to analog read of A0. So if you read this value, the potentiometer will get a value from 0 to 1023. 0 to 1023. This 0 to 1023 we have to use it for controlling our servo motor. Whereas this motor output should range from 0 to 180 degrees. So just 0 to 1023 should be scaled to 0 to 180. So that's what we have to do. So if you so we have to divide this 1023 by 180. See what is the value you are getting. 1023 divided by 180 is 5.68. Every time you take this fellow, divide this by 5.68 and then give that to motor pin, so that you are scaling that 0 to 1023 to 0 to 180. So let us change the source code here. So I don't do all these things. So the first thing I do is integer potentiometer pot is equal to analog read of A0. So servo.write. What am I going to write here? Take pot value and divide that fellow with what? 5.68. That value you write it to my servo. So that would automatically control the let us see the output. Right. Now if I change this fellow, see, I'm just adjusting the potentiometer. Depending upon how I adjust the potentiometer, my shaft is able to make a rotation. I bring back to this to 0 degrees. Okay. So this is one way of getting an input. This fellow is really annoying me. So you can manually give the input and then control that fellow to the output. So what are the applications of servo motor? There are hundreds of applications I can tell you, but I'm just telling you the application which will catch your imagination. If you are designing a robot, okay, so typically when you are using a robot, when you are designing a humanoid robot like this, you would be using at least few tens of motor for completing the entire robot. So you need one servo motor in the head region. Okay, why you need head or neck? Why you need that particular motor? Because only then the robot can turn its head this side or that side. So for that you need a servo motor here. Similarly, you need motors here to accomplish the movement of hand. So the joints, even the fingers for that matter, and then the knees and the hips and the foot, everything is driven by servo motor, which can control the movement very precisely from 0 degree to this theta can be controllable. This machine is drawing printed circuit board on a substrate. If you see this tip of this machine, it is going up and down at an exact location. So this is again driven by a servo motor.